Did you know that around 75% of people fear public speaking more than death? That's right, many would rather face a lion than speak in front of a crowd. This fear can lead to mistakes, and here's the kicker: even the best speakers make blunders. In fact, a study showed that 70% of top presenters have had a major slip-up during their career. Shocking, right? But here's the good news: making mistakes isn't the end. It's a chance to connect with your audience and improve. This video will explore why mistakes happen and how you can recover gracefully when they do. You'll learn powerful strategies to turn slip-ups into strengths, engage your audience, and even embrace the art of improvisation. Are you ready to uncover the secrets behind great speaking? Join me as we dive into the world of public speaking and discover why the path to becoming a fantastic speaker is paved with mistakes. Let's get started. Chapter 1: The Perfection Trap. Why flawless speakers don't exist. Most people think that great speakers are flawless, but here's the truth: perfection is a myth. Even the best public speakers slip up. It might surprise you that Steve Jobs, known for his compelling presentations, had tech issues during his famous iPhone launch. He didn't panic. He acknowledged the glitch and joked about it. The crowd laughed, and the moment passed. Mistakes make you human. In fact, research shows that audiences connect more with speakers who show vulnerability. According to a study published in Psychological Science, people find those who admit to small mistakes more likable. Trying too hard to be perfect can actually backfire. The key is embracing those imperfections. When something goes wrong, don't freeze up or apologize excessively. Just move forward confidently. Think of it this way: your audience likely won't remember your stumble as much as how you handled it. One of the biggest fears speakers have is forgetting their lines. It happens more often than you think, even to the pros. But here's a trick: when you forget what you plan to say, pause and breathe. Silence isn't your enemy. It adds weight to your message. Speakers like TED Talk veteran Brené Brown use intentional pauses to captivate attention, even when they lose their train of thought. Ultimately, don't aim for perfect, aim for real. And remember, mistakes are just moments. What matters is what you do next. Chapter 2: Mic Drop Fumbles. How to turn awkward moments into wins. We've all been there, standing in front of a crowd, and suddenly, something goes wrong. Maybe you fumble a word or knock over your water bottle. That split second feels like an eternity, but here's the good news: it's also an opportunity. Take Winston Churchill, for example. During a critical speech, he stumbled on a word and simply repeated it, giving himself time to regroup. This tactic is golden because repeating a phrase not only buys you time, it also reinforces your point. Another common hiccup? Forgetting what you were going to say. When this happens, instead of scrambling, acknowledge it. A simple, "I lost my train of thought, let me get back to that," makes you relatable. If you laugh it off, the audience will laugh with you. Humor is a powerful recovery tool. Tech issues can also derail a speaker. If your slides won't advance, take a tip from former President Obama. When his teleprompter malfunctioned during a 2010 speech, he shrugged it off and ad-libbed until it was fixed. No panic. No awkwardness. Just cool composure. Here's a pro tip: practice handling unexpected moments. Try delivering your speech in front of a friend and have them interrupt you randomly. This way, you get comfortable improvising. It's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about turning them into memorable moments. Chapter 3: The Psychology of Slip-Ups. Why your brain betrays you. Let's get into the science of why you make mistakes during speeches. When you're nervous, your brain releases cortisol, a stress hormone that messes with memory retrieval. This is why you might blank out in the middle of a speech, even if you rehearsed 100 times. Studies show that public speaking triggers the same fight or flight response as physical danger. Your body reacts as if you're being chased by a tiger, not standing in front of an audience. But knowing this can help. The first step to combating these slip-ups is understanding what's happening in your brain. Mindfulness is a powerful tool here. A 2015 study by Harvard Medical School found that practicing mindfulness for just 10 minutes a day can reduce stress levels by up to 30%. Before your speech, take a moment to ground yourself. Focus on your breath. This can reset your nervous system and calm your mind. Another effective strategy? Visualization. Studies by the University of Rochester show that athletes and performers who visualize success have better outcomes. Imagine yourself giving a strong, confident speech. Picture how you'll respond to potential mistakes. This helps build resilience for real-life situations. Lastly, give your brain a break. If you're speaking for a long time, plan strategic pauses. These pauses give your mind a chance to reset and help your audience digest your message. TED speakers often use this technique, taking small breaks between key points. It's a win-win for both you and your audience. If you're finding these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more insights on becoming a better speaker. Chapter 4: Mastering the Art of Improvisation. When your script fails, let's face it, sometimes your carefully crafted script will fail you. Whether you forget a line or the content doesn't land, improvisation becomes your secret weapon. The ability to think on your feet is what separates good speakers from great ones. Comedians, like Robin Williams, were masters of this. Williams would often veer off script and improvise, creating some of his most memorable moments. Now, you don't have to be a comedian to use improvisation in your speeches. But you can learn a lot from their techniques. A quick tip: practice improvisation with what-if scenarios. Ask yourself, what if I forget my key point? What if the audience seems uninterested? By mentally preparing for these moments, you'll build the confidence to pivot when the unexpected happens. Another tactic is to simplify your message into core ideas. Instead of memorizing every line, focus on your main points. This way, if you do lose your place, you can easily circle back to your core message without stumbling. The legendary speaker Zig Ziglar once said, "Repetition is the mother of learning, the father of action, which makes it the architect of accomplishment." In other words, if you know your material inside out, improvising becomes easier. You can use stories, metaphors, or even audience questions to fill gaps if you lose your spot. One fun fact: a 2016 study found that improvisation activates parts of the brain responsible for creativity and emotional processing. This means when you improvise, you're not just winging it, your brain is working hard to connect ideas in new ways. That's why improvised moments often come off as authentic and engaging. Chapter 5: Audience to the Rescue. How to engage when you slip. Here's the thing: your audience is your biggest ally. When you make a mistake, don't be afraid to lean into that connection. Acknowledging your slip-up or asking the audience a question can shift focus away from your mistake and keep them engaged. For example, if you forget what you were about to say, turn it into a question for the audience. Ask them what they think or get their opinion on the topic. Suddenly, you're not just a speaker, you're a conversation leader. One of the best examples of this comes from Oprah Winfrey. During a live event, she stumbled on her words and couldn't remember her next point. Instead of freezing, she asked the audience, "Who's ever had that happen to them?" The crowd responded with laughter and raised hands. In that moment, she connected with her audience on a human level. Another powerful strategy is to use humor. Self-deprecating humor works wonders in diffusing tension when you make a mistake. Studies show that humor improves memory retention, so not only does it lighten the mood, but it also helps your audience remember your message. Just be careful not to overdo it. Too much can distract from your main point. Engagement goes beyond fixing mistakes, too. Even when things are going well, interacting with your audience creates a dynamic experience. Eye contact is key. Research from the social psychology of communication shows that strong eye contact increases the feeling of trust and connection between a speaker and their audience. Lastly, don't forget body language. When you make a mistake, your body's instinct might be to close off, cross your arms or retreat behind a podium. Resist that urge. Open body language, like gesturing and standing tall, shows confidence even if you're nervous. The audience picks up on these cues, and they'll follow your lead. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more tips on becoming a confident speaker.